Good morning, everyone. It's Alex here. The time is 6 minutes to 7 in the UK, and I am at my desk ready to make some music. Thank you to all my glorious patrons and supporters. Tom Gilbert, latest patron. Thanks very much, Tom. Sorry you're missing from this list. I will update it. Bit croaky, early morning voice. So I am fast approaching 100 splurges that I've got to review and listen back to. And so this morning I'm just going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing some more sketching, doing what I normally do, starting tunes. We'll throw some ideas down, we'll do a jam, we'll bounce them out, and then we'll listen back to them at some point in the near future. So where to start? That's always the difficult bit, or maybe not. Maybe that's the easy bit. I think the easiest thing is probably just to throw sounds in, throw presets in, and see if I get any ideas from those. Maybe we'll do something with operator. I've been enjoying kind of just making bass patches lately. Oh, I've got my coffee here. Have a sip of that. Okay. Got to make sure I've got my... There we go. Bring up my laptop speakers. Oh, is it? Coffee number 2. I have to be careful I don't drink too much, get jittery. I don't know if anyone's about this time in the morning apart from me, so if you are, please say hi. We'll just have some fun, shall we? Making some bass sounds. You can just do some good things with the filter, really. Do some wobs. Something like that. Increase the slope. And then adjust the envelope to kind of get there. Maybe bring in the second operator. Let's make this square as well. Lee, good morning. That is lovely to hear. Thank you so much. Yes, Ned has done so much to help me. He's such a good lad. And yeah, we're pretty good friends in real life as well, which is lovely. When the internet becomes real. I'm actually heading to his next month. We're going to do some stuff together in real life. Yeah, but I was following his content for years and years and years, and randomly introduced through a shared patron. So bit of reverb maybe. Nice simple bass patch just from 2 operators. Maybe some distortion. This will be too much. Sometimes I try out a few different things to see if I can get any like flavors I like. I like this quite low actually. A bit of texture. You can always adjust the envelope down. Wobble. Might have that like coming in a bit later, so increase the attack. Sync. Alright, let's add some drums. Hey, Go Lab. Yeah, I think the biggest thing from like Ned's content and is using Ableton, kind of lateral thinking around Ableton, and it not just being like a DAW where you'll do stuff in the timeline and you'll kind of build up stuff like that, but like using it like an instrument. And I come from an instrumental background, playing guitar, playing instruments, and so everything like I approach DAWs and recording like that, like writing songs with real instruments and then laying it down. And I think when a lot of people come from they come from like DJing or something like that, and the timeline just makes a lot of sense. And the whole generative thing of like just recording things generatively, I think that really was the biggest thing. Like, you don't have to use this software. You don't have to use any software, any piece of kit as it's prescribed to be used. You can kind of pick it apart and use it, find your own way of using it. And the whole community around that, and like all these people that you meet through these channels and communities that do similar things. We all have our own approach to kind of how we make music and use Ableton, use the software. So yeah, absolutely. That's how it's helped me. Yes, GoLab, I did. Thank you so much. That I actually did find that one, the rotary connection. So I think I might do. I'm toying whether I should just do that and record it, or I should do it live and edit the live stream. I don't know. What do people prefer? I feel there's something good about, like, for me personally, it's really easy to just go live. It's really easy to go live and then do it in the moment and edit it down. The thing is, I can't always. There's an element of like risk, but then again, there is when I press record, when I record it off stream. Yeah, but if you have any other ones, so I've got rotary connection, and that is a good break. Life could, is it life could? And someone said Apache. There are a few more on the video that I need to just go back and look over actually. So I quite like these I like going through older packs sometimes and just seeing what we've got. I quite liked. What don't I have? I'm not going to download them now. Just seeing. I've had all these kits before on like my old computer. Maybe we'll program some more stuff in first. Do a pad of some sort of, see what we can do with wavetable. I quite just like using just the instrument as it is, you know, and trying to Echo Boy. Reverbs and spaces. I do love Echo Boy's Galaxy. It's like one of my favourite. That'll do, eh? That's just a sine wave. Maybe we can. Shall we? Drums? Yeah, I liked the concrete breaks. That's quite cool. Although I quite like Glitch and Wash is a nice one. Let's just do one. Random. Just program some stuff in, shall we? I don't know. I'll think of the tempo in a second. God. idea down here. Yeah, Lee, I've been there, man. Oh, no way, really? That's great. Yeah, my kids do too. Yeah, no, all the best, mate. Good luck with that. I've been there twice. I'll just go with that. Stripper. Go ahead. Always. Yeah. Stripper Pingvin.
Also doing the volume to the LFO, you can get some really like choppy stuff. It's cool. Do some more drums. Oh god, that's awful, that rhyme. Getting rid of that one. Hi-hat code. What I'm doing. What am I doing here? What it do? Just done that. Yeah, cheers, D. Stripper, sorry. Switch. Oh, my webcam's gone. That's so irritating. Oh. Do it, man. Switching breaks in drum funk or D&B, they used to switch multiple breaks, and they don't always split breaks evenly. How do you do that? It's a good question. And something that, like, certainly, like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, like, there are a few ways to do that, and like, so if I just, what have I got that I can put in and show you?
So I'll just use these breaks for now. Actually, yeah, they'll do. They'll do. I can demonstrate it. So if you've just got like the audio, the one thing you can do is use follow actions. If you're using audio, and what I actually might do is, there are many ways to get to this point. I might actually chop all my own breaks, record the audio, and do this kind of thing. Or I might have multiple instances of a break chopped to MIDI and then just stop and start clips to get that effect. But let's say we've got these breaks here, right? And I'm going to use legato. Yeah, set all to repitch. Ajumanji. So we've got these breaks here. I've got my APC, and at the moment they're set to switch. So really, it's legato mode. If you just put legato mode on and you've got clips and you're jamming some stuff out, this is certainly the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to program in the timeline, which some people are happy to do. But anyway, the quantize for how they change is set to global, which is 1 bar. So we're going to get that kind of effect here, you know. So it's switching every 1 bar, but we might want it to go faster than that, which is kind of what you're referencing. So really 1/4 will do that, which is like 1 every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes if I'm jamming stuff like this out, I might use the metronome. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that is the way I would do it then. If you program them and turn them into audio, once you've got your audio clips, I'd pull them all in channel, legato mode, quantize set to 1/4, and then just like you can even like let's use follow actions to just go follow actions. And I'm going to change what I want is these ones, right? These are going to play. They're going to go back to the first one, right? So the first one's going to be like our lead break, our main break, yeah? And that's going to happen like 100, we'll say like 90% of the time because, or maybe we'll drop this down. Because what you don't want is sometimes like you lose, it doesn't go back to the first one. So, okay, for demonstration purposes, we'll just do this. And we're going to turn off linked. So they're just going to be like, we can make them 1 bar long. And then this is going to play for like 3. I mean, yeah, that's right. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3 bars long. And then it should switch. Yeah. So, it's all. Let's just change this one to be other. So it's going to ping to any of these other breaks, and let's put the tempo up, so more jungle tempo or something. Yeah, there we go. And then you could just record that, and you're kind of halfway there. And with legato mode on, it's always going to be at the end of the break where there's likely to be fills or that kind of thing. So with legato mode on, when you trigger it to play another clip at a certain, it might be mid-clip, it will then go over to the same measure in the other clip that you've triggered. So you can mess around with things like the when these things happen. So you might want it 2.5 bars if you like. And then we can make these ones slightly longer so we get some more variation. 1.5 bars. There we go. So it's not quite the same as if you trigger it yourself, but nice. But like it's pretty. That's certainly a way to like even if you wanted to do a new track here, right? Resampling. Let's turn resampling on. Let's just like make this. I think you can do this. Should work. Okay. I'm trying to make it like do a quick version. I don't think this does work, does it? Yeah, you get this weird like aliasing when it does this. Anyway, okay, that's not going to work. 170. But yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, and then you've got your like break choppages here. Yeah, so the question about I think with breaks, it's really like a question of phrasing as much as anything. You know, they have a kind of musical quality and inherent what they're suggesting in how they're actually played. You know, there'll be certain breaks in here which are a bit more aggressive and really, you know, timbre, what the pattern is, how where the hits fall, whether it's got kind of shuffles in it. Really, I would say there's kind of no hard and fast rules. Producers might do that to end a sequence, yeah. The stopping and starting gives an anticipation of there's going to be something happening, if you know what I mean, or that's kind of what I feel. So when have we got this still on quarter bar? So. So it really is down to trial and error, and it depends, of course, on what else is going on in the track. Yeah. It's like, so follow actions. The thing with follow actions is if I set these like fills, if I set these fill breaks or whatever we want to call them, if I turn this on and they're always going to go back to first, you're never going to get, or it's very hard to build in variation where you might have your main break and your main break, say, after 3 measures. So on the fourth, sorry, on the fourth bar, it switches to another break, and then you want to only play that for 2 measures before it switches to another break. That's hard to engineer because with the follow actions, if you've got to have an instruction for them to go back to the first or play another one. But what they end up doing sometimes is you can't then set it to play another one for, say, 1 beat. It might just keep going and playing other different ones rather than going back to your rather than going back to your main break. So really the best way to get that kind of effect is to jam it out, I find. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's certainly an easy way to do it. Another thing you could do is, like, some of them, maybe these 2 in the middle, you could turn off legato, so you can do stuff like, you know, losing the timing. 3, 4. Lost. That's just me, like, triggering the clip. Of course, you could take this one and we could make this happen on the snare. Turn legato off. Starts to get a bit all over the place. Yeah, so that is definitely a quick way to do kind of break switching. Another way would just be to pull in a few different MIDI clips. You've got stuff going on, maybe. Now, all this depends so much on how you program stuff. Now, because I've got these kind of, like, the way I've programmed these chopped across the drum rack, and they are, you'll get, like, it's just going to play the full break out. You can get around this. If we've got another one where I've done this. Okay. So you might get it more with this. So we got, like, this break here. And that's just because of the way I've chopped these. Although I do notice I haven't done that. I haven't done, like, a fine slice thing. I've just chopped them. You are welcome. Great handle name, by the way. Yeah, I hope there's some useful stuff there. Okay, we'll just get back to where were we, 127 or something. Yeah, always happy to answer questions on stream. So if you get stuck, come back and definitely try that. Try the follow actions. Certainly a really easy way to get things down in a jam, and then you can spend a bit of time if you want to work on the track. If you actually want to work on it, then you can spend the time kind of tidying things up a bit more. Yeah, go ahead. There was once upon a time where no one ever came on in the morning, so I'm glad to answer questions. Kind of makes it more worthwhile, really. I think certainly makes for more interesting watching back. You can do a cool thing with the pitch envelope where we can change the LFO speed. Let's do that. DJ Parasite, J. Good to see so many of you on at this time. What's everyone doing? Going to work? Come back from work? JR, work vibes, yeah. Same for me soon, I'll be heading off at some point. Stripper, thank you for referencing Harmony. Oh yeah, that's such a good question. Yeah, save these up. If you save these, excellent question. These are that's. I feel like, you know, that could be a whole live stream in its own right, really. I can't remember if I did I do a track breakdown on Harmony? Have you seen, like, anyway, like, so I think I can kind of answer this, like, this is like the way I kind of compose tracks or put them together or make an arrangement is I will get everything in clips like this, like what we're doing at the moment, and then I will lay down an arrangement of it. Yeah, so I will lay down an arrangement of it, and I would just do, like, I think the way I came up with Harmony is that I'd been sampling stuff, and I had loads of these kind of channels of samples, like here, in loads of channels of samples with loads of bits of audio and clips of audio and stuff, and I think I laid it down and got this kind of laid down on these flute samples and things like that. And it would have been. I won't open it now, I'll just have to refer from memory. But it would have been that I just laid down these samples and maybe like a couple of breaks. Oh, I wonder if I've got the original thing. I might have the original, certainly the audio track we could listen to just quickly. This could be, is it? No, okay, it's not downloaded on this computer. All right, we'll have to just refer to memory. So I would have done parts in that tune. Certainly with the bass line, and it's kind of like just flows along and changes all the time. So I literally would have just built up takes of me playing stuff, just jamming out over the top of it, just with my keyboard. Like with things like this. Stuff like that. And then really it would have been, what I do is I'll work on a track, I'll bounce the audio every time I have a session. Then a few weeks later I will all of like the flowing arrangement and the kind of like lack of expectation, or perhaps the tension that's built by you're not like it's organic, isn't it? Hey Simon, how you doing? Yeah, it's like organic. So with that track specifically, I think what I did is I did lots of sessions where I just recorded more audio parts, or I recorded more flute stuff, for instance. Where it's like it's doing like falling things, isn't it? Stuff like that or whatever. I can't play that fast. I had to like speed it up. Stuff like arpeggios and things like that. So it's doing loads of these like descending runs and things, and that would have been from me just literally jamming, recording takes, and then laying it all down. And then when I kind of listened back to it, I was like, it worked. So there was no real. I didn't follow a structure in that way. Sometimes I do, if it's a more like dance, if it's more just like a DJ tool type thing, then I may well follow 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But often, if I'm not conscious of doing that, I'll be doing things like 24 bars or something. It'll be like 16, another 8 or something. Hey, okay. Yeah, so I don't like. That's a really good. I'm glad that's come through, because it's kind of how I like to make some of my music, for sure. I did a lot of stuff with flutes and reactor. If you do stuff like you can loop these, get these like weird looping LFO bits. Stripper, yeah. I don't necessarily even have a loop. It will all be done like the original framework for the track would have been just laid down from me pressing record and jamming something out over a certain period of time. And then I'll literally just be jamming, like improvising the whole time, and then just build up layers of these improvisations. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so there's like all of these kind of like meandering layers that are feeding into one another. Like there's you get this kind of pad coming in, don't you? A pad sound that's like, what I like to do is like, I imagine like I'm on a journey or something like that, you know. Say you're on like a motorway or something, or a highway, and you can see like you're driving along and suddenly, you know, you're conscious of like stuff in the distance, maybe mountains or something like that, and they're so far away, they're just kind of small. But like slowly the landscape leading up to them changes, and I really love this kind of idea of, I love with music where things like seamlessly enter. I always think like if you could do stuff, like it's great when things like drop or whatever, but also I love stuff where it's really hypnotic and just parts, like, to me, like I'm always trying to find the best way to bring stuff in, to bring elements in. Like, what's the best way to introduce something? And I think in harmony, for sure, I do the kind of thing of just like, you know, slowly washing stuff in. Yeah, I do. Good label. They had okay, yeah, Whitey's. There was a track. I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, it's some really good stuff on there. Hey, Dennis. Yeah, Stripper. How can you do that otherwise? You know, there's lots of ways you could probably do that to generate stuff. I would say that everything's quantized largely. So, you know, so I might play it on the keyboard, but the timing's all over the place. My timing has got better, and this new machine is a lot tighter on the latency. Yeah, so if you haven't got a keyboard, like, the best way to do stuff like that is to do some kind of MIDI generative stuff. And you know, there's loads of ways you can do that. Where you can kind of come up with the problem with, like, there's things like easy keys and stuff like this, but like I know it's not for everyone that they want to do that kind of thing. They want to play their own stuff in, you know. So the best way to work with something like that is, let's go right. So you got Ableton. Okay, and let's say you choose a key you want to work in. You know, maybe you want to work in I don't use the scale. Okay, and we'll just use F minor because that's like what I'm in all the time. Okay, and this is like a composition thing, I suppose. And let's try and just make something. Let's try and make something that works. So you have a triad chord. You know any notes you pick here are going to be good. So just use the rising motif. Okay, so that's kind of like a statement, isn't it? And then maybe we want to go down again. Okay, so we've got like we've got something here. Maybe we'll duplicate it and we'll develop it slightly. Just make that slightly later. Change these last notes. So we've got kind of like a melody there. And I know it's gonna be repeating, but there's loads of, you know, MIDI effects that we could use random. And we'll lock it to the scale that we've used. F minor. And maybe we'll duplicate this. We could do that? No, okay. What we could do is we could just pull them along. Maybe put them up, and now we'll use the chants to like. Or maybe we'll even pull them up. Do like a third here. Pull the chants right down to be like 25% or something. We've got these two additional like elements of chants being added. We might just also want our straight melody here that we can refer back to. You know, we're already getting all these kind of variations. So really, you know, you could even do things like you could duplicate this again, and you could pull it over so it's maybe here. Bring it up like this. Bring it up a few steps. Reduce the chance. You know, and you've got all these kind of variations already happening. So that'd be a way, if you didn't have a MIDI keyboard and you weren't confident kind of jamming, that you could just be generating endless stuff, you know, and you can mess with the chants, and you've got your kind of stock melody clip here, you know. You could even do things like, you know, you could take that clip, have it here. Go back to our old friend legato, but this time we're going to make this like maybe, yeah, could reverse it, yeah. And we could just be cycling through these clips, follow action of after every like say every 2.5 or something like this, you know. You could make this shorter. Yeah, there's so many ways to just use some very simple MIDI and proliferate it and get loads of stuff out of it. But yeah, if you can learn a bit of keyboard, but there's so many ways you don't necessarily need to do this. Like all I would say is that the more you proliferate MIDI and the more you kind of do stuff like this in Ableton, for me, the more nonsensical it gets. It can kind of just lose its, and it can be quite a lot of like mining to get decent, nice little phrases out of it. Okay, yeah, in fact, well, oh, thanks very much. Yeah, one shots are good. Follow actions are really, really good, really powerful. You know, we've got the rest of our jam here. The thing is, you do have to be careful of, right, is you need to record the MIDI when you do anything generative. So let's go from MIDI from 2. Let's record. We'll just do a little jam. Yeah. Yeah, nice little jam there. Certainly do. We'll call you Sundogg then. Yeah, Sundogg, that is well, that's great. Where are you? UK, US? I am glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions on stream. I'll just literally bring it up to volume. So we've got a MIDI here. We must remember to pull that up now, and we can delete this channel. So we've got a generated MIDI here. It's just 3 channels, you know. It's probably. Ah, okay. Wow. Are you there at the moment then? What's the time there? It must be like 6 hours ahead or something like that. I can't. That blows my mind really that people check in from these places. Yeah. Okay. So now I just will save this as 517. Let's just might take inspiration from you. Okay. Yeah. We'll call it Sundogg in dedication to you, Ripper, aka Sundogg. 2 G's. There you go. We've generated all that MIDI as well. There's some nice moments in that, you know, like. I would say the thing like with any kind of melody, you know, is like every note in a scale. Oh God, turn random off. Make sure you turn random off as well, because it will just randomize what's here anyway. F minor. Is that every note in a scale has a kind of push and pull within the key that the track is in. So, certain pitches, certain points in the scale want to do certain things or suggest where the scale is going. And this is where things can fall apart a bit for like generative stuff for me, is that it doesn't necessarily, it just lands on kind of weak notes within the harmony of the track you're working in. That's what I always find of like the generative stuff, is like, you know, really, you know, if there's chords or an underlying chord progression, and there might not be anyway, but it again might be just suggested by the notes themselves, like, you know, the tonic of F minor, F. You know, if you play the second note in that scale is a G. It tends to want to resolve downwards. So if you land on it from somewhere else, say a C, rather than moving upwards, because now we're on the third, and the third wants to, like, I think, kind of wants to go upwards, rather than if we went. If I do it again, C, G, upwards, and then we want to go upwards again rather than going back to the tonic. It's all about like musical grammar, I suppose, of like sentence structure. Things are nearly always wanting to go home, and if they don't, then it means that they want to go somewhere else from there before they go home again. Ah, wow, that's cool. That's wicked, yeah. It seems like there's quite a big jungle scene in India. I've had a few people get in touch from there. That's cool. Yeah, it was never really. I was born in the 80s, and I remember being at a school disco and one of the kids asking for some jungle there, and that was the kind of first time I heard it. General Levy, incredible, and I was like, "This is good." And that was kind of it for that time. But by that point, it kind of made the chart, so it already was on its, like, was changing, you know, into more like drum and bass and stuff. Did I export this? But yeah, I actually work for a contemporary music ensemble, and we do a lot of stuff with Indian musicians. That's really cool. So do you know about rogs and stuff like that then, Ripper? I'll use that name as we've had it throughout. There's a lot of like microtones and stuff in that though, and inflection between notes. And again, it will, like, the rogs are a good example of that happening. That kind of push and pull within a scale. You know, certain inflections on certain notes can suggest a direction. And this is what, when you're doing generative MIDI stuff, you have to be a bit wary of things like that, where it can just be a bit like, okay, you're saying words, but they don't make any sense together, really. All right. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you for all the interaction. How long have I been on? Yeah, time for me to go to work, go to my real job now. It does, yeah. There's some really good. Yeah. There are so many rogs. and my knowledge is superficial. I know that like I love the idea that different rags are sung at different times of day as well. That's really cool. Someone was talking about creative block to me recently, and I think one way of getting around creative block is to just like listen to different music from different places in the world, completely in the way that music is structured in different cultures. So interesting when you kind of dig into it a bit. I didn't know if you were there or not still, Simon. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. But yeah. Work must be done. Tyler, yeah. Yeah, and all the like rhythm, yeah. So like rags and talas are and different ones can be applied to different things. My knowledge is just superficial. We did a piece with an Indian flautist, bamboo flautist, and singer. Yeah. You got to keep the money coming in, and you got to feed yourself, keep a roof. Me too. I mean, I do it as much as I can. I was like, I'm glad it brings people useful knowledge and that everyone gets something out of it. Yeah, this is true, Simon. There are so like it was in a question on Instagram. There are so many ways. Yeah. There are so many ways around it. I think you have to just persist. Like, that's the wrong word. You have to just kind of sit with it. You have to just like lower your expectations a bit, I think, and just be like, okay, things are feeling a bit strange at the moment. And I am gonna just continue working, and I'm just gonna kind of just continue applying myself on the daily as much as possible, and not necessarily worry about making anything, but just like sometimes I just open Ableton up, mess around, and shut it. You know, I don't do any music or anything like that. Well, stick with it. Stick with it, man. Yeah, it's a lifelong process. That's another thing I always think. Like, you know, I'd like, what do you want out of me? What do you want out of music? What do you want out of doing this? You know, do you want to? Because for me, I do it because I love it, and because if whether anyone was watching or not, I'd be doing this right now. And yeah, I'm not really bothered about. I'm not too bothered about people hearing my music or about like the biggest breakthroughs I had were when I was just like, why do I do this because I love it, and I will always love it, and I will do it for the rest of my life, and I'll do it every day as much as possible for the rest of my life, whether anyone continues to listen to my music or not, you know, because for me that kind of spark of inspiration is just the best feeling, you know, creative feeling. It's I would say it's addictive, but I don't think it is addictive. I do it. It's like it's a necessary therapy for me to do it, for me to make music. Because if I don't, I just feel, I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm not letting something. I feel like there's a valve shut or something. This has to happen. Yeah, just don't like lower it. Just do it for yourself. Do it every day for yourself. Anything else is extra, you know. Like there's nothing really to win from any of this, you know, fame or not. At the end of the day, really, the like the battle is with yourself, and there's no battle. The kind of there's no competition, there's no race or anything. I'm saying that merely to respond to what I just said, but like, if you can just take music as like something that you do for yourself, and really all you want to achieve is to be better at doing that thing, then that is like, for me, that is the goal. And really that should always be the goal. It's always like, you release a piece of music and then you're like, I want someone to play it, and then someone plays it and you're like, I want more people to play it, or I want DJs to play it, I want to perform here. Well, we get a gig there, you do the gig there, and then you're like, I want a bigger, more and bigger crowd, better slots, whatever. I want more subscribers, I want more followers, I want more downloads. What was once like a point on the horizon quickly vanishes into the background when you get there. No, just, I hope I pronounced that right. Just do it for you. The only person you have to compete with, or not even that, is like is yourself. Okay, I am gonna go now. That was some good knowledge chat there. I mean that with the help of you guys, with the help of the community. This is great. This is really, really great. I feel so blessed, to be honest, to even just have a hand. I'm not sure. I can't see my stats here, but I'm not sure how many people are on. Even just a handful of people at this time in the morning, when I used to do this to no one. If it helps one person, I've achieved what I set out to. Cool. Thanks to my patron. All right then. Enjoy your days, folks, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you around. Yeah. Cheers, Aditya. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'm gonna stop now. Cheers. Have a good one.